So here are some of the mind-numbing numbers I'm about to go over with you guys, okay? First of all, CJ Stroud on the game and the 2 times that he's played Michigan State. So today's game, he was 21 of 26 for 361, 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. And it's really 3 games, because if you remember during COVID, Brandon, he got in late up in Spartanville and actually ran a touchdown for like 48 yards, okay?
Right.
So, but in his 2 times throwing the football, he has 8 incompletions and 12 touchdowns in 2 games against Michigan State. So just wrap your head around that for a second.
Man, listen, that's when you break it down like that, that is just insane. It's ridiculous. He likes Michigan State, clearly. I mean, I don't even got nothing to say. There's nothing for me to follow up with. The numbers speak for itself.
No, it speaks for itself. There's no question about it. I mean, and he had a 1 rushing touchdown, as I mentioned. So Stroud accounted for 13 touchdowns in 2 games and 0.2 of a third game. And like I said, only 8 incompletions, 12 touchdowns. Travion Henderson, 19 carries, 118 yards, 1 touchdown. He did take a helmet off a hip, it looked like, early in that second half, and had a limp off. But that's something that I'm going to talk about in the highs and lows section as well with him. And our receivers, again, it's just an embarrassment of riches. Emeka Egbuka, 5 catches, 143 yards for 1 touchdown. Marvin Harrison, 7 receptions, 131, 3 touchdowns. Julian Fleming goes for 4 for 81 and 1 touchdown. And here's the crazy part. Total yards, Ohio's now, this was, I think, towards the end of the game, but Ohio State had over 600 yards of total offense, about 377 passing, 227 rushing, 29 first downs.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is just unbelievable. And I get it. Michigan State is a downtrodden team. But guess what? Their backs were against the wall. It's a wounded animal situation. They're going to fight, and they fought as well as they could. But when you're going against a machine that's hitting on the cylinders that they're hitting on right now, it's really nothing you can do. You can just pick your poison. Do you do what Rutgers did? Stay in cover 2 the whole time and just say you're not going to throw the ball for 350 yards against us. We're going to have to run the ball. And that's what Ohio State did against Rutgers. So it's pick your poison right now with this offense. Defensively, tremendous job. I'm ecstatic about it. Again, Michigan State only went for 193 yards passing. They had a total of 7 yards rushing. They got a little over 200 yards of total offense. And again, I get it. It's Michigan State, but still, you've got Scully. They didn't have a lot of injuries on offense, B. All the injuries were on defense. So they were playing with a full deck that I'm aware of on offense, and Ohio State was still able to go into their house and hold them to a little over 200 yards. And I say this, I don't know how many times, Brandon, you'll probably agree with me. In this day and age, in the 2022s and beyond, when you can hold an offense to a little over 200 yards of total offense and hold someone to 20 points, that's ideal right now in this day and age, the way offenses are.
Definitely. And I know, listen, we got our haters and critics. They're going to try to downplay the competition, to downplay our value. That's just what it is. We talk to people on message boards and social media. They're going to try, well, it's just Michigan State. But my buddy DeJuan West, shout out to DeJuan out there listening. He let me know before I hopped on. He said people would try to downplay this win because Sparty's not a great team, but we held them to season lows in multiple categories. So we didn't just beat them because they're bad. We really bludgeoned them, and we beat them the way we should beat them as a number 3 team in the nation. We dominated them. You can't downplay it. I mean, when you look at the numbers and you watch the game and see what we did, and then, of course, what you said with the final stats, even some of the passing numbers came in garbage time against our second and third stringers. And the 20 points, our first team defense only gave up 7, y'all.
Right.
Remember
Right.
the pick six, and then the other touchdown came in garbage time. So if you really want to look at the reality of it, our defense stood tall and only gave up 1 TD to that starting offense.
Yep. Great point. Yeah, because you forget about the pick six, and yeah, that adds to that total points. But it's not really a defensive stat that was put on Ohio State. It was a pick six. So those stats, mind-numbing. Obviously, as an Ohio State fans, you're tickled pink on both ends of that, both offensively and defensively.